Hey, welcome to this Literacy Shed Adobe Express challenge. In this tutorial, we're going to create a scrapbook style diary inspired by the film Francis. If you need free Adobe Express for Education accounts for your school, visit the link on screen, and there you'll also find all the other free things we do for schools like live lessons, teacher training and lesson packs. Let's get on with the challenge. Let's create a diary entry for Francis. Let's go to the plus, give it a click, and I'm looking for a landscape size. I want this to look like an open book. So let me go here and change the title of my project. And next I'm going to go over to media, photos, and I'm going to search for old paper, something like that. Okay, these are all looking good. Click that one there, that looks great. Give it a click. You can also set it as page background, or you can just stretch it out. I'm going to set as page background. Now I want this to be 2 pages. So what I'm going to do is go over to elements, just scroll along here to shapes and search for line. Give that one a click. Click it again, spin it around 90 degrees so it's vertical, stretch it up to the top, stretch it down to the bottom, and then just reduce the opacity so it's a bit like a sort of the line, the crease in the middle of a book. There we go. So next I've got 6 pieces of text that I want to put in here for the diary entry. So let's click text, add your text, and paste in what you want to say. So here I'm going to just reduce the size of this and then put it roughly where I want it to be. Okay, now that I've got it, I'm going to click it again. I don't want it to be Source Sans 3 in terms of font. I want it to be something which is like handwriting. And then I'm going to bring it down and just put it on a slight angle. Hey, I hope you're having fun so far. Teachers, if you'd like a PDF mapping this activity to the NCCE Teach Computing curriculum, follow the link that's on screen now. Okay, back to the challenge. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. You can see how I did that. All you have to do is click the 3 buttons and duplicate. And I'm just going to position this in different areas. There we go. Next, I'm going to change these so they have the diary entries that I want. You might need to change some of the size of these boxes. Okay, now that's done, let's bring it to life with some elements. I'm going to go over to the left here to design assets. Now the first one, I've sneaked out of our tent. So let's search for tent. That one looks great. I'll pop it in here. Design assets are great because you get lots of illustrations in there. That's kind of the vibe that I'm going for. Lantern's the next one. There we go. Sneaked out with the lantern. There we go. You can just resize them as we did before. And again, sometimes you need to scroll down to find the one that is perfect for you. I like this one. That'll be great. I'll size that up a bit. There we go. Now, I want to make sure that the text is in front of the boat. So with the boat selected, I can go to my 3 dots here and center back. And so my text is now popping out in front of the boat. Okay, down here for out on the lake, the moon and stars are like nothing I've seen before. I'm going to go to media. I'm going to search photos, just go for stars. You can trim in the side handles like that if you want to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to put it on a slight angle. And all you need to do is resize this. Now, in order to make it look like it's been stuck into a diary, for example, like a scrapbook, let's go over to elements. Let's search for tape. You can put a piece of tape in there like that. If you want it to be a different color, it's very simple. You just click off, click back on again, go to effects, and then you've got all sorts of duotone colors that you can put in here. Maybe this green one would be good. Nice. Okay, for someone knocking on the bottom, someone or something knocking on the bottom of the boat, it might be best to go to somewhere like icons, and then let's search for knock here. Something like this is good. This is a good representation. Now, you can't really see that, and that's because the fill color isn't quite right. So let's change that. Let's make it a red. That'll be good. And then maybe just make it a little bit smaller. And all I'm going to do is just keep repeating this process for the other side too. You can duplicate things that you've got on your page already, like this lantern. That'll be very useful for me. I'm just going to make sure that it comes right all the way to the front. There we go. Drop this one into the waves. And same with the oars. Also, one cool thing you can do is get a photo and you can remove the background on it. So let's remove the background on this octopus. Let's pretend that Frances is a really good sketch artist and she's made a photorealistic octopus, and we'll put it in here. That looks great. Now for this last bit, I did knock first. I want it to look like this has been written by someone else, by the octopus themselves using their tentacle. So let's position this in the kind of place we want. We should change the font. Let's go for something like Jinky. I think I really like that one. That's great. Okay, and I want to pretend like they wrote it with their tentacle, and maybe it was kind of muddy from the lake bed. So I'll change the fill color of this text to something a bit sort of like more brown, I would say. There we go, that's great. And then also let's go to media, and this time I'm going to remove the background on some mud. Like they had a muddy tentacle when they were writing it. Select the image, and one really easy thing to do would be go to blend mode, and all you want is the darker pieces of this. So let's click that one, multiply, and you can see here you've got this kind of muddy stain that you can put on the top. You can change the angle of it if you need to, and also you could change the opacity of it so it's not quite so severe, down to something about that. Perfect. I love that. I think that's all my work done here. So I'm going to click share. If I want to, I can put email addresses in here to invite them to work on this project with me, or your teacher, for example, or send it via Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or create a view-only link for others to see your work. And that's how you create a diary entry using Adobe Express.